They're the future of men's tennis, the bright young things bursting with talent, hoping to form the next golden generation. They are the ATP Young Guns. This week, we focus on the youngest player in the top 100, Austria's Dominic Thiem. As for so many on the ATP World Tour, those first few steps were some of the hardest.
The beginning of my first year, of my first full professional year. I was just Orange Pro champion, so I had a really good finish of my juniors career. And then I thought that it continues like this, but then I went to 5 futures in different countries. Everywhere I got a really bad loss. And so I realized, yeah, I have to continue work hard and to get used to this level. And yeah, it was a tough time.
A key figure in Thiem's rise has been his coach, Günter Bresnik, who clearly saw something special from an early age.
I work with him since he's 9 years old, so it was easy to educate a kid at that age. It's a lot easier than taking over a 24, 25-year-old one who has already his bad habits. I think he has very, very good ground strokes, fairly big serve, and he's also a good natural athlete.
Over the years, Thiem's game has adapted to suit the powerful style of play that now dominates the men's game. Naturally, coach Günter has had a huge role to play in that development.
I was quite a defensive player, but Günter also changed it because he always said that with a defensive gameplay in today's men's tennis it's almost impossible to win. And now still I go back sometimes in the defensive game, but I realized that it's much more easier in men's tennis if you dictate the point, if you go for the winner.
He reminds me quite a bit of Fernando Gonzalez. You know, he's the type of player that he goes for his shots from baseline. He's hitting the ball extremely hard. He's growing up really, really nicely.
I see everything. He's great backhand, great ground strokes, young guy, very hungry. This year he qualified like 9 or 10 times. I think in 2 years he can be in top 10.
With a one-handed backhand capable of damaging any opponent, Thiem has a huge weapon. He's come a long way from the two-hander, which needed work.
I had a quite bad backhand, but with both hands. But I won a lot national, and then I changed, and I think I dropped from number 1 in my country to number 15. So it was really difficult, but after 2 years it started to work out good. And everybody who coached me was telling me, yeah, now it's really tough for you, but in the end it will be okay, and that's how it was then. Yeah.
Sharing his coach with Ernest Skulbis, the two have struck up a strong friendship, and as practice partners can only help each other's games.
It was great, especially at the age when Dominic was 18 years old. Ernest came to Vienna to practice with us, and they were practicing a lot with each other. So Dominic got used all the time to the high pace, especially on the serve and also on the ground strokes. And competing with a guy of Ernest's level, day in, day out, is a big advantage for a kid at his age.
We're really good friends. Now we are all year together, basically. It's just really helpful for me, but I think also he's happy to have a good player to practice with, and it's no problem at all to share the coach.
After a bright start to 2014, Thiem is bursting with ambition.
Top 50 would be a dream to be at the end of the year. It's very tough because I have to defend a lot of points, but I think it's not the main goal. The main goal is to develop the game, to get better, and then I think the results and the ranking comes from itself.
After a run to the second round of this year's French Open, including victory over Stan Wawrinka, this young gun, it seems, is the real deal.